The setup is nothing but a white sheet and a light. So, and she's going to run some puppets. You're not going to see colorful puppets, they're going to be shadows. That's the reason this is called a shadow puppet technique. All right. Now, the story that I'm going to narrate to you is going to be the Dashera story. This story is a very old story. It's about 7,000 years old. And a story so old sometimes may not have all the details very clear. What I may tell you today may not be exactly what you have heard. And it also may be that Geeta Auntie changed certain things about the story because of some reasons. All right. So, though it may be different, it is going to pass the same message.
What do you mean?
Zoya, it means that the story that I may say may not be exactly the same that you have heard from your papa, mama, dada, dadi, nana, nani, or anybody else. But it will still have a similar meaning. So let me give you a little background on the story. So the story is very old, about 7,000 years ago. Story has main characters and the main story is about people. The names of these people are Rama, Lakshmana, Sita, Ravana, Shurpankha, Hanuman. In today's story, these are going to be our main people. And the story has a background. Story begins long ago in a place called Ayodhya. Ayodhya exists even today. It is in Uttar Pradesh, in India. In olden days, Ayodhya was a kingdom whose king was Dashrath. And Dashrath was the king of Ayodhya. This was a very happy kingdom. Dashrath had 3 wives, Kaushalya, Kaikeyi, and Sumitra. And he had 4 sons, Rama, Bharat, Lakshman, and Shatrughan. Rama was the oldest of all. He was the son of Kaushalya. Bharat was the son of Kaikeyi. And Lakshman and Shatrughan were the sons of Sumitra. They were all very happy living together. All of them loved each other. And Dashrath was a very, very just king. The kingdom of Ayodhya was a happy place. The people of Ayodhya were also happy. Now, as the children grew up, they got married. And it was time for now Dashrath to stop being the king. And he was going to let Rama become the king of Ayodhya. Why? Because he was the oldest son. He was the eldest of all, right? So Rama was going to become the king of Ayodhya. But Kaikeyi was not very happy. She wanted Bharat to become the king. So she talked to Dashrath. She told him, do you remember long ago you gave me 2 promises? You told me I can ask for these promises anytime. I ask for them now. And you know the 2 promises that I want you to...
I know it.
That you want to fulfill? I want Rama to leave the kingdom. I want Rama to go away for 14 years and not come back. You know. And I want Bharat to become the king of Ayodhya. Dashrath was very sad listening to this. He did not want it like that. Because it was right that Rama was supposed to be the king because he was not eldest. He was not only the eldest, but being eldest, he was also very strong. It wasn't that he didn't know how to take care of the kingdom. So Dashrath was very, very sad. But he had also kept a promise. He had made a promise. And when you make a promise, you got to keep it. So he knew he had no way but to keep the promise with Kaikeyi. So he agreed and he asked Rama to leave the kingdom of Ayodhya. And Rama also believed it was the right thing to do to keep the promise and help Papa to keep the promise. So Rama got ready to leave the kingdom of Ayodhya. He was about to start the journey, but Sita came to him. Sita was his wife. She told him, wait, I will go with you. Together, we will be able to face all difficulties wherever we are. We will not even know how 14 years will pass. We can go together. While they were both getting ready to go, Rama's younger brother Lakshman, he also came. He said, wait, wait, wait. I will also come with you. Three of us together can face anything in this world. And we can take care of each other, and we will not even know how 14 years will pass. So all three of them left the kingdom of Ayodhya and went away. They walked in all directions, trying to figure where they can live. They just kept moving from east, west, north, south, in all different directions. Then they found a place in a jungle. They thought it was very peaceful, very beautiful, and they made a house there. A house made of bamboo sticks, hay. It was in the beauty of the green jungle. And they started living there. They even made a small vegetable patch around it. They would grow vegetables, they would cook it, they would live. And they would also not only do that, they also took care of the people near and around them. Rama would spend time protecting all the people who were living around them. He was very strong. Both were trained, Rama and Lakshman. So they lived there peacefully. They lived there for many, many, many years peacefully. One day, there was a demon princess that was passing from there. Her name was Surpankha. She was passing and she spotted Rama. She saw Rama and she just fell in love with Rama seeing him. She wanted to be his friend. She said, I want to even marry you. And she went to Rama and told him that. But Rama said, no, that's not the right thing to do. I am already married. I have Sita as my wife. I cannot marry you. I'm really sorry. That's not the right thing. And I cannot do that. Now, Shurpanka did not understand the difference between right and wrong. So she tried to attack Sita. She said, you know what? If Sita is not dead, then I can be with Rama. While she was trying to do that, Lakshmana came to the rescue of Sita. And he tried to protect Sita. And when Lakshmana and Surpanka had a battle, they both fought. In the battle, Lakshmana won and he hurt Shurpanka. Shurpanka was hurt and she was very sad. She started crying and howling and she ran back to her brother. And you know who was her brother? Her brother was Ravana. She went to Ravana and she complained. She said, you know what? I don't like how Lakshmana hurt me. I want to be with Rama. And she told Ravana that he needs to do something about it. And Ravana started thinking. He also wanted to see who were these two brothers, who was Sita. He wanted to see that. So he made a big plan. He made a plan with his uncle, Marich. And according to the plan, Marich was going to become a deer. A beautiful, good-looking deer. His skin was all golden, would shine in the sun. Very enticing, very beautiful deer. And the deer went and stood near where they lived, near the house. And he started munching on the grass there. And Sita spotted the deer. She fell in love with the deer. She told Rama, I want the deer as a pet. See, it would be so nice if the deer could live with us near the house. He could live, the deer could eat all the grass there. Rama tried really hard to make Sita understand that it was no good to capture somebody and keep it, right? Along with you. You don't even know if the deer wants to live with you. But Sita wasn't listening. She wanted the deer as a pet. So she asked Rama to go after the pet, after the deer. Now Rama was thinking again. After all, Sita was his wife, also his friend. And we do our best for our friends and our family members. So he said, all right, I will go. But he talked to Lakshman. He said, while I am gone, it is your duty to make sure Sita is safe. Nothing happens to her. Let me go and get the deer as a pet. Okay, and Rama left. While Rama was gone, Lakshmana was doing his duty very well. He was watching Sita and the kutia. He was careful, made sure nothing would go wrong. He was alert, standing up straight with his bow and arrow, ready. And all of a sudden, they heard a sound from the jungle. Help! Help! Help me! And that was Rama's sound. Hearing the sound, Sita was all of a sudden worried. She told Lakshman, you know, your brother is in trouble. Why don't you go? It may be some animal attacking him. Will you go? Please help your brother. Lakshmana said, no, but I know my brother has taken a promise from me. I will not go. My brother is pretty strong. He can manage it very well. He'll take care of himself. You don't worry. But Sita wasn't thinking like that. She was really worried for Rama. So she forced Lakshmana to go and help Rama. But this time, Lakshman was thinking. He was like, how do I break my promise? How do I go away like that? So he told Sita, I am listening to you. But in turn, you have to listen to me. Please don't cross a boundary that I'm making around the house. Don't come out of this. And then he went away. And Sita promised. She said she will not do that. While Lakshmana was gone, Sita was sitting and Ravana came there. According to the plan, he was going to come as a saint, as people asked for grains from Sita. He came to Sita's house and he said, I need some grains. Will you feed a hungry pandit? 100 Brahmins, sorry. And Sita was like, yes, of course. So she went inside the kitchen to get a pot of grain. And she came out and she was about to give him the grains, but Ravana said, no, I will not accept the grains from within the boundary. Now see, Ravana was smart. He knew the importance of the boundary. But Sita said, no, I can't break my promise. Can she break a promise like that? She said, no, I cannot break my promise. I have made a promise. But at the same time, she was divided. She was divided in doing the good of giving grains to a Brahmin. So unwillingly, she stepped out of that boundary. And Ravana took Sita. They both traveled in his flying chariot. He was taking Sita away.
Teacher, how can a chariot fly?
We'll talk about that a little later, Mahira. Is that okay? Yeah, absolutely we will talk. Do planes fly, Mahira? So if planes can fly, chariots may be flying. Yeah? So he took Sita in a flying chariot. While they were going on the way, a vulture, a big vulture by the name of Jatayu, saw Ravana take Sita. He tried talking to Ravana, saying, you're not doing the right thing. That's not the right thing to do. You cannot take like this Sita without asking anybody's permission. Did you even ask Sita if she wanted to go with you? No? Right? Then how do you take somebody like that? But Ravana did not listen. And they both fought. Ravana won and he took Sita to his palace. And they flew away. When Rama and Lakshman came back from the forest, they did not find Sita. They were really worried. They started looking around the whole jungle. They started calling out, Sita, 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 where are you? Where are you? No reply. Gone. Not there. Nobody was there. And they started looking. They left the house, they started going into the deep jungle to find Sita. They traveled so long, they couldn't find her. And while they were traveling, they met somebody. His name was Hanuman. They met Hanuman in the jungles. And they met him and they told him the whole story, what had happened. Hanuman heard the story very sympathetically. He was also worried now about Sita. He promised Rama and Lakshmana that he's going to find Sita with them. They all started looking in different directions. Rama went in one direction, Lakshmana in another, Hanuman in another. They all started traveling in different ways to find Sita. And Hanuman kept walking, and finally reached the end of the land of India. Saw the big ocean in front of him. He reached the Indian Ocean now, and he kept thinking, now what should I do? And all of a sudden, he met Jatayu's brother, who told him he had seen Ravana take Sita over the ocean to the land beyond. You know, the land is called now Sri Lanka. In olden days also it was called Lanka. And Hanuman kept thinking of what to do. He was like, if I go back and tell Rama only based on this information, I don't know whether Sita is really in Lanka. I need to find out. So he made a big leap and jumped over the ocean, flew across to go to Lanka. And he reached Lanka, and there he became the smallest, the minutest Hanuman. Hanuman was able to change himself, go from big to small, small to big. He became very, very small, and he started looking for Sita all around. He saw the palace of Lanka. It was so beautiful. And he was like, oh God, how am I going to find Sita in this big place? Finally, he landed in the royal gardens. The royal gardens of the palace. They were called Ashok Vatika, the garden. And there he found a lady sitting there, and he thought it was Sita. He went to her and talked to her. And he really figured it was Sita. He came back in his original form and he asked her to come with him. But Sita said, that's not the right thing to do. Ravana took me away in hiding without letting anybody do. You can't let me away in hiding without letting anybody know. Tell Rama I am waiting for him to come and get me. Let him come. And he needs to come and take me in front of everybody. We are not going to hide anymore. And now Hanuman thought that may be a good idea. So before going, he thought he can try one more thing. Talk to Ravana. See if he understood. So he went to the palace. He said, I will speak to him and convince him to let Sita go. So he tried talking to Ravana. He said, please, let Sita go. It's okay. I will take her back. But Ravana did not listen. Did not listen at all. And to the extent, he tied up Hanuman and put his tail on fire. Hanuman was Hanuman. He took the burning tail, and he jumped. He put the entire Lanka on fire. Big problems he created. And then he went away. He went to Rama and he told him he had found Sita. Now they knew they had to go get Sita. He gave him the message also. They collected a big army of monkeys and bears. And they all went to the end of the land again. They built a big bridge all the way to Lanka. The monkeys and bears helped doing it. And then they all went there and they built a bridge to Lanka. The army of Rama and Lakshmana had landed. There was a big battle between Ravana's army and Rama's army. Battle lasted for good 7 days. Long time. And finally, there was a big battle between Rama and Ravana. And in the battle, Rama defeated Ravana. And he told him, before defeating him, he told him lots and lots of times, Ravana, you've done so many things wrong. It's okay. All can be excused if you say that you will return back Sita rightly. But he did not listen. So finally in the battle, Ravana died. And this day, where Rama won the battle with Ravana, with all his right decisions, choices, good actions, is celebrated as Dashera. We celebrate Dashera to remind us that victory comes with lot of difficulty, but it comes by taking only the right decisions or doing the right actions and not harming everybody on the way.